But Jake, start us off, man. Where are we going? After 2 games, what's your big takeaway here?
You know who it is.
I know.
You know who it is.
Yep.
And look, if you're new to the show, this season or off the off season, you may have noticed we've been calling Derrick White the Mistress. Originally named because I was falling in love with him, despite having a future wife in my life, and that's gone nowhere. And if anything, I believe Derrick has become the mistress of my own wife. He's the mistress of both of us. It's only the Derrick White experience is only getting better and better. Derrick White is the definition of a championship role player.
Yes.
Like I was like thinking about guys of championship teams past. Aaron Gordon for the Nuggets, like on any given night, he maybe goes for 20, but he's like this defensive playmaker. This guy that kind of came in at the deadline and has just been like the perfect fit ever since they've arrived at their team. Reminds me of like Iguodala for the Warriors.
Yeah.
This connective piece that really just like took the team to another level where, you understand where they could be so good for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a given game where you have the Max Kellerman famous video of if the aliens have the laser beam pointed at planet Earth, you have one guy to take the shot to save planet Earth. I want Iguodala.
Open shot, fate of the universe on the line, or the Martians have the death beam pointed at Earth, you better hit it. I want Iguodala.
Who am I to tell you that we don't want Derrick White?
Derrick White, yeah.
He's been that good. The guy that he can go off for 28 points against the Heat, have 3 blocks on Jimmy Butler, and then you go back to the Knicks game. He's comfortable taking 3 shots, being the defensive menace all over the floor. He can fit any role you need him to on any given night. He is the definition championship role player. James Posey, but like really another level compared to a James Posey.
He's better than Posey.
Yeah.
Right?
So
I mean, first of all, that was beautiful. And second of all, 100% spot on. Couldn't agree more. I mean, he's now averaging 26 and 2.5. I expect those assists to come up and probably the points to come down a little bit. But like, it's been an incredibly encouraging first 2 games for Derrick White. And you're right. I think it's just his ability to basically be like a do-it-all, doesn't need to do much with the ball in that Knicks game. And then against the Heat, he looks like Steph Curry. Like that one pull-up he had where and I think it was I can't remember her name, but the play-by-play announcer, she was like feeling it, and he just pulls up and buries it. And I was like, well, there it is. Yeah, I mean, that was a big-time shot, man, and we needed every bucket. And like the hustle plays, the little floaters in the lane. He's shooting 60% from 3 right now. So he's just like everything he was advertised as that Spurs fans told us about him. And now he can shoot, which is just like such a ridiculous dimension to his game.
The pull-up 3 in transition was so ballsy, but it was a shot that I'm comfortable him taking. And the confidence of Derrick White just seems to be growing and growing and growing from when he arrived in Boston. That's kind of been the thing that we've always wanted more of, really, is for him to be aggressive, because he's very often going to be defended by the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th best defender on the opposing team, and he can crack these guys off the dribble. Going back to the playoffs and going back to the Heat series, in the playback live stream, if you haven't tapped into the playback live stream, we're going to be running it all year. You got to get in on it. Zin, one of the regulars so far, was saying, is Derrick White a Heat killer? And, he definitely was yesterday. And you go back to the Heat series, and I was looking at the box scores, he was, the first 2 games, he's 4 for 6 from the floor in both of those games that they lose. You probably want him to be more aggressive again.
Yep.
But then the points tick up. In Game 4, 16 points, 5 for 10. Game 5, 24 points, 8 for 11, 6 for 8 from 3. Game 6, I mean, we all know what happened in Game 6, right? And then in Game 7, 18 points, 5 for 12 from the field, but got to the line 7 times. And I'm like, who knows if they win that game if this happens, but Derrick White was felt like he was kind of in takeover mode in that third quarter, getting that lead down to 7 points. But if Jaylen Brown maybe gets out of the way just a little bit, maybe they don't win that game, but like Derrick White was giving them a chance to stay in the game, giving them a chance to potentially steal it. We've needed a Heat killer so badly because everyone that the Heat just roll out on the court is a Boston Celtics killer.
Yeah.
One of the Heat, like the lead, like the Heat Twitter version of Greeny, forgetting his Twitter name off the top of my head, but he was like, don't get it twisted. Drew Smith still sucks. He's just getting the playing the Boston Celtics bump right now. And it's just like even Heat fans
undrafted
know.
Celtics bump, or something like that.
Yeah,
they know. Yeah.
Like 3 for 4 from 3. It just doesn't matter. It is comforting a little bit to know that the Heat fans know that their team actually isn't that good. It's just when they play the Celtics, they just like get a plus 20 3-point shooting bump. But yeah, finally to someone to even the scales, to even out the black magic, we've got just our Lord and Savior, Derrick White, to even it out.
He's averaging 2 blocks a game, 1.5 steals a game. Yeah. Like, that's just ridiculous, man. He's a 6'4" guard, and he's like he swatted Jimmy Butler 3 times against the Heat. Like, what? So I mean, Derrick's just been awesome. I think, that's a great point about that. The Heat series, like his confidence grew as it went on, and it feels like he's picked up right where that left off, and he's just continued to grow in confidence. Like that pull-up 3, it was like semi-transition. I'm confident he'll make it if he's confident, and he'd never take it if he's not confident. So like if he's feeling so good to take it, I feel good that he took it. If that makes any sense at all. But
if Derrick White is feeling good and feeling confident, then I'm feeling good and feeling confident.
Yeah.
And
fire away, buddy.
Yeah. Loving like those comments of Derrick White saying like when guys like Tatum and guys like Jaylen are like really encouraging me to be aggressive, when some of the best players in the league are encouraging me to be impressive, that's big time.
Yeah, credit to those guys, just giving me the confidence and trusting me that I'm going to try to make the right play each and every time. And, I mean, hearing it from some of the top guys in the league that they want me to be aggressive, it obviously gives you more confidence.
Look, and like we got Derrick White mic'd up. Was a game, I don't even remember if it was the Knicks or the Heat game because it's been a bit of a blur, but he was mic'd up in one of the two. And we don't get to see that very often, so it's hard to know if he was more or less vocal than usual. But like I was surprised personally to see how vocal he was being, just because I don't expect that from Derrick. But like he's such a smart player that I want him as vocal as possible, because I know that his voice is going to be pointing this team in the right direction. So the more that we get from Derrick, I think is going to be a positive thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I love that he, like, Marcus Smart, Drew Holiday, Malcolm Brogdon, it doesn't matter. Like, this dude just like rises to the top. He's still, I think he's better than Drew at this point. I mean, at least for this team.